right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Spotlight interview. I am joined again here today with Rochelle Nwafor. She is the owner and CEO of Priority Med Billing and Management Services in Newport Richey, Florida. And there's going to be a follow-up spotlight here with Rochelle. So welcome to the call. Great to have you on, Rochelle.
Well, you know, I'm happy to be here, Brian.
I am. And we are blessed to have you as a licensee of ClaimTek. Really excited to share with everybody here today what you've been able to accomplish over the last 15 months in your business with ClaimTek. Started with us, back in January of 2021, right? So just a little over 13 months in the business with us. You now have 7 clients.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
7
clients. That's fantastic. And working to your goal of 10, right?
Yes.
By September, and
Yes.
You are well on your way.
Yes.
All right. Actually, if you would have, accepted some of the ones that have come your way, you might already be there, but you might not be as happy today.
Yeah, that was a recent one I was telling you about.
Yeah, because now that you have some clients, you're building your business. You can be a little more picky with who you want to work with as well these days, right? So yeah, so let's go back to the beginning here and just take a look at, what did you do when you first got started, to market your business? And let's just basically start at the beginning, looking at those efforts. What was kind of the timeline? What was some of the emotions that you went through in those maybe first 2 or 3 weeks? So why don't we start there and, making that decision, getting started? What were some of the emotions that you were feeling in the, waiting for your package, getting that package, getting started with that training? What was that feeling for you like?
Fear, anxieties, inadequacies, fear of the unknown mostly. Not sure if I can really be able to, not sure how the practitioners would receive me, not knowing what to say, lack of experience, where to start, but I will say that the package that ClaimTek provided for me covers a lot of those things. It's just more so me having to convince myself I can do this and actually doing it. But as far as the resources, like the sample presentations from the Cornerstones packages, all the materials involved helped me to do what I needed to do. I was the only one potentially holding myself back.
Okay, so yeah, obviously we have a proven business plan. We let everybody know that, but it hasn't been proven to you yet, right? So you still have that fear, the doubt, the anxiety, the wondering if, is this real? Is this possible for me? Right? So, in getting over some of those fears, I'm sure it was a process. I'm sure you didn't just wake up one morning and you were all of a sudden like, oh, I have no more fear now. So I'm sure that was a process for you. What did the process look like once you completed your training? You had a little more knowledge.
Yes.
You knew the software systems a little bit, but you still had never marketed a business before. You never ran a business before. So what was it like picking up the phone the first couple times, or, what did you do in the beginning there?
Nerve-wracking, not so much that I can't pick up the phone and talk to people, but I'm not a marketing type of person. I'm not a person that I felt like I can sell myself, show people why they should hire me or what have you. And so that was a challenge. But what I come to realize is that the only way you can overcome a fear is to just do it. Really, that's the only way. Is that you have to face it head on, and you have to take the steps to do it. And fortunately, the package, helped me do that, because there were tons of samples, and with those samples, you can customize it to your own type of personality. You don't have to read a script word for word. Right. You can make yourself comfortable with it and tweak it on how you really talk and what your personality is really like. Yes. So that was a challenge. Pick up the phone. You guys provided 300 calls. Did I get any of them? No. But what I did get was information on what practitioners look for, and experiencing that rejection you know, which nobody likes rejection, but you take it and you go to the next one, to the next one, the next one, and the next one.
And you learn from it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing with anything that's brand new. Nobody becomes a pro at anything without first failing at it and then doing it again.
Right.
Failing again and trying again.
Right. And
because
I'm not necessarily,
that is the consistency. Yeah.
Right. You're going to fail it, like you said. But like I said, I don't think it's necessarily failure, because those 300, no, I didn't get none of those, but some I got that I got rejected later came back and wanted to know more about my services, and I was able, you know, so just putting yourself out there, making yourself known is a good thing, really.
Yeah, because it didn't maybe happen immediately that they were interested when you made that first phone call or you sent out, you know, a sales letter. But as you told me, even in our previous spotlight, one of those sales letters you gave to one doctor,
yes,
that doctor gave it to another one, and that one signed up with you, right?
Yes. Yes.
So the efforts weren't for naught. They helped to you know, generate you some opportunities, but mostly, how do you feel when you started scheduling meetings? How do you feel the ClaimTek's pre-appointment trainings before each meeting and then the post-appointment trainings after each meeting helped you to maybe overcome some of those fears, gain some more of that knowledge, so you were more confident in the next meeting or on those follow-ups?
Because you know what to expect, and it helps you, it puts you in a position where you can prepare. You can prepare for that interview. I mean, you know, that meeting. You know what to ask for. So it helps you. I would say it helps more in preparation and knowing what to say.
Excellent. So when you started going on some of these meetings, you weren't going in and doing like a sales presentation to these doctors, right? You were having more of a candid conversation, asking questions, trying to learn about them so you can see how you can help them. Why don't you tell people a little of that experience? Because you had mentioned that kind of made you feel a lot more at ease, because you didn't feel like you were selling, or you didn't feel like you were like this marketer person. Like you were just seeing who needed some help so you could, you know, try to create some solutions for them.
One thing that doesn't work well with me is to try to selfishly try to sell. What I find more effective is taking personal interest in the doctors, find out what their needs are, ask them the right questions, what areas where they need help with, and then listen, and then talk about a solution. Sometimes a proposal can be in a later email. Sometimes it's just about jotting down notes and getting all the details, and then thinking of a proposal to send to them at a later time. But let them know that's what you plan to do. So I find the conversations are more relaxed. The conversations are more effective when you selfishly trying to sell your business, but more so not sell your services, but more so trying to find ways on better helping them. Because when they see that you sincerely want to help them, they open up. And then that's something to remember. Think about, if someone giving you personal interest, you're going to remember that person. You know,
absolutely.
And that's the main reason why I have the 7 that I have.
Taking that personal interest, that focus on, you know, trying to help those doctors solve their problems and making their problems the forefront of your conversation, right? And rather than talking to them about like, hey, I've got this and this, and I can do this over here or that over here, you know, it doesn't work well, because you might be talking to the doctor about something they're not interested in. Yes, you could do it, but you're leading them down a path.
That's not the issue.
That's not the issue, correct. And so you could lose some of their interest there. Whereas if you keep the focus with, you know, the practice and their specific problems, then it's just a matter of, hey, how can we customize what we have to fit the exact wants and needs for this doctor? And then maybe even lay out some options for them, right?
Right.
So they can pick and choose and say, oh, I like option A over option C.
Yeah. And another thing I want to say is more than you actually going to put into practice what you're preaching, because ClaimTek's packages, the software state of the art. First of all, there's nothing, I'm not using all of the abilities that the software offer, but what I am using is still providing, is still benefiting me and the practitioners.
Yeah, because the systems were designed to bill for any provider in healthcare, right? You have quite a few different doctors that you're billing for, right? Why don't you, tell the folks what type of providers, because they're not all the same. You've got quite a few different ones, right?
Well, I have a plastic surgeon. This is it's not cosmetic surgery. This plastic surgeon does constructive surgeries, like for car accidents and injuries and things like that. I have a psychiatrist. I have a psychologist. I have a neuropsychologist and 2 licensed mental health care professionals.
Excellent.
So it's mostly, I have mostly behavioral health.
Behavioral health. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. I mean, because you're getting to see, different types of billing can show you different features within the software. If you picked up a chiropractor or, somebody that might work inside of a hospital, you'll start to use more of the features and functions of the system. But for the clients that you're working with now, you don't need to use everything, but the system works for you exactly as it was designed to.
Absolutely.
So when, going into, going back to some of that marketing, you work through the first 300 leads, you sent out some sales letters, you followed up with some phone calls, right? And then you're still working though, so you started this all part-time while working full-time. So you didn't have, 8 hours a day to, doing all these phone calls. So after working those first, 300, getting a little more comfortable, that's when you went into using the warm lead generation, right?
Yes. And that helps too. So you have to do a little bit of something, a little bit of everything. You can't just restrict yourself to one marketing strategy. You have to do a number of things. You're going to get, your chances are better. And you're on top of it all, you're getting more experience, you're getting more comfortable. To be honest with you, I'm liking it now. Yeah. In fact, it's a rush to get a call back. It's like a potential. I'm over doing cartwheels in the house and dancing in front of my husband. A potential. He said, don't get too excited until you sign it. But it's fun.
It is
something
fun.
That was so nervous and so intimidating. I like it.
Yeah.
And, because when you talk to them, they need medical billers are needed. Outsourced medical billers are needed. We can work remotely on our own schedule. We can do a few hours here, a few hours there, whatever, and we can accomplish a lot, get a lot done. And another thing I like too, that's another rush, is when I look at the clearinghouse and see all those payments posted. I'm like, oh, they're gonna be happy. They get some money this month. They're gonna get paid this month. It's enjoyable work. I really like it.
Yeah, I know that's one of the things Sarah always mentioned, when she was always like doing billing, that, seeing the money come in for the doctors, you're like, oh, they're going to be happy with me this month. Like, we really knocked it out of the park. We got a couple of them paid that, were denied from previous, times that they filed. And, but we're helping them to grow. They're seeing the efficiency of the relationship improve. And as that improves, so does their profit margin. So, so that's excellent that that you're enjoying things now, because I know there were some times when you called me, in the first 90 days that it was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, what to say, how to, what
that's
do I even, how do I even respond,
Right. It's something when you're going to have that sometimes. But when you're new at it, of course, you're going to see, you may think you have it all together, and this something different pops up. You're like, well, how am I going to handle this is a different situation. But it's all part of growing and learn. I don't get too hung up. I don't get too upset about that anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ran into a account that was going to be a nice, juicy account, but the guy wanted somebody he wanted to pay an hourly rate for. I didn't start my business, Brian, to be back in the corporate world.
Right. Yeah. You didn't invest in a business to be somebody else's employee. And it would have been a great account, but again, it allows you to decide who you work with, where you spend your time, where you invest your energy, and to be able to control your energy and where you spend your time, how you spend your time and with who you spend it with, that makes a big difference in our overall.
And it's It's no
happiness
disrespect
of life.
because we all have to work.
Right.
It's no disrespect. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it just seems like he didn't see my value as an outsourced biller who is an incentive to charge by the percentage, because I'm going to collect much as possible. Well, I'm going to do that anyway, but just to reiterate it, I'm going to collect much as possible, quickly as possible, eliminate the rejections, do my utmost, because guess what? The more money you're making, the more money for me too.
Yep.
But if you give me a bare minimum, if you want me to work 8 hours a day for you, number one, it's going to take time away from my other practitioners I need to put time in for. It's just not, it was not what I was.
Yeah, I mean, it can just be the mindset, and again,
Yeah.
Some people have been running a business one way for so long that it is, this is the way it's done.
Right.
And again, sometimes you can't help those that don't want to help themselves. And change is necessary for growth. And if a practice does want to grow, they might need to make some of those changes. So that's just part of the process. So it's nice that you're seeing that, though, because now you're seeing your own value.
Yeah.
Right. A year ago, you didn't see your own value because it was all brand new.
Right.
Now you're able to be a little bit more picky. You're not after every single one because you're able to say, well, then, you know what, that account, I don't think that one would be for me, but this one here would be. Just based on your conversations, your interpretations of what that account is going to bring for you in time or effort and revenue,
Right. I feel I'm making decisions without a cloud. I'm making the decisions better. I've been doing this for a little bit over a year now, so I know what it's all involved.
Right.
So I know how to, although I am taking personal interest, I'm going to go over and beyond to accommodate you. It goes both ways.
Right.
So, I'm able to take personal interest, offer you my proposal, but at the same time, I need to know what you're looking for too, because I might not be able to put it on the table for you.
Correct. And that's something that you also need to be open and honest with
Mm-hmm.
doctors about, like, hey, I can do this, but this is not, an area that I focus. So that would be something that I would recommend that, and we can give them recommendations. Maybe they take a look at this site, look at this company. That might be something that they can manage for you, because that's not part of the forte of my business of what I'm looking to do to get you paid. But that is definitely something I can lead you to somebody that can help.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. Exactly.
No, nothing against, I mean, he wants what he wants and he within his rights, but I also know what I want too.
Right.
Yep.
And so, when looking at getting signed up with, let's say, your first or second doctor, because those happen pretty tight together, didn't they?
Yes. After training, it was like roughly 6 weeks.
6 weeks. So that, and that's, that's good, because normally with somebody working full-time, we say 3 to 6 weeks of active marketing. We say 1 to 3 months with somebody working part-time, depending on how part-time they're working, but you did it working part-time in 6 weeks. So hey, congratulations on that.
I was excited too.
I know that you were. And what was it? 3 weeks after you signed up your first account, you had gotten the second one on board. So, everything that you were doing there, it wasn't just for one, it was creating other opportunities.
And I didn't see that right away. I didn't see the effects of my marketing right away because I wasn't getting things right away, but it takes patience.
It does. It does. It's like, it's like planting a seed. When you plant a seed and you start to water it, you can't go and take it out of the soil and look at it to see if it's growing, because then it'll stop. You have to leave it there. You have to leave it there for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Keep watering it, keep it in a little sunlight, then you'll see it sprouting. But if you keep plucking it out, looking at it to see if it grows, nothing's going to happen. So you did it right. You focused on what you needed to do. You stayed consistent to those daily actions.
So
even when you didn't see, hey, I don't see what's happening. But we had conversations, didn't we? And I said, hey, just be confident. This has happened and been proven to work time and time again. Just implement the daily action steps and give it 3 or 4 more weeks. And then what was it? I think it was like 3 weeks after that, because it was like 3 weeks in, you're like, I've been doing this for 3 weeks, Brian. I haven't seen anything, I'm feeling like maybe this isn't working. I said, just stay consistent. It's a matter of time. Things are happening underneath the soil. You just can't see them yet, but it'll sprout soon. right? And so
part of that was excitement too.
Yeah,
I got a new business now and I'm ready to, and a lot of it was being anxious too. And, but, and speaking of that, the ones I don't have now, who's to say if they'll call me later on? You never
that's right.
know.
Yeah,
Because that's what it's been. Older ones have reached out to me.
Yeah, people lead to people, and we tell people all the time, it does really happen. You might end up finding, 5, 10 clients through your own active marketing, but then you stop.
Yeah.
And people keep sending people your way because they're like, well, I told him that you helped me. So then they want you to help them.
Yeah.
So it does happen organically and naturally like that,
Yeah,
after you gain a couple clients that, people lead to people and they'll start feeding you more.
Right.
As long as you're doing a good job, providing a consistent service. And again, leading with that sincerity to want to help them solve problems, you'll do wonderful in this business.
And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to do a good job and to give them what they want, because for one, they're happy with your services. They're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
And it's a win-win. I tell them, I want you to be happy with my service, and I also want to be happy working with you.
Okay, it's got to be a two-way street, right? It's got to be a two-way street. No, that's fantastic. So, and then there was, other times, right, where you had doctors that, asked you for things that you're like, well, this isn't my job, a doctor begging you to train them. Right?
Yeah, some things are shocking. Some things are shocking. Some people, it's their personality. I don't know how to, I'm trying to find a nice way to.
They don't want to let go.
Some of them have the mentality, you're their worker, and their personal assistant or something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I had a bad, well, I'm not going to call it bad experience, but it was something that I couldn't do it because
you learned from.
and the contract wasn't even signed.
Right. And you there were some red flags, like, a little overbearing before we even have a contract signed. Right. We're kind of asking for things that were above and beyond even what your contract stated. It was like, maybe I should pump the brakes here. The thing about it is,
if you're the type of person that wants to accommodate them, and you may have to make certain adjustments to accommodate. That's fine. I don't have no problem with that.
Right.
But there's boundaries, though.
Yes, there are.
So you're gonna run to some practitioners. They will overstep your boundaries. Sadly, I mean, much as you want the business, you got to be careful, because if you sign with them, that's what you're gonna be. Because if they showing you up front, I remember someone once told me, if someone shows you who they are in the beginning, believe it.
Right.
When you see a flag, it's a flag. If it walks and talks like a duck, it's a duck.
It's a duck.
I mean, it's a lot of its personality.
Of course.
Some people have entitlement, issues and whatnot.
I mean, to each their own. Every person gets along differently with others. Right. Some people just, rub each other differently. It's just like, okay, I looked at that. I was just asking for help. We see it a different way.
You're right. You're right, Brian. But I think if you think about the one I told you about, I think I did right to run like a bat out of you.
Like, get out of there. Yeah. Well, and again,
it happens.
The nice thing is that within a year, you were able to build a business to a point where you could do that. You don't have to take on everybody that comes your way, and that now also gives you a little bit more of that attitude in your business ownership as an entrepreneur. Now you're like, I don't have to accept if something's breaking my boundaries. I don't have to accept it. It's not like I'm employed by somebody. It's like, if I see wrongdoing, I'm going to call it out and I'm going to move in a different direction from it. Now you have the ability to do that for yourself in business.
Yeah.
So
I do have
work with the people that you.
But even in the beginning, you don't have to compromise either. You don't have to be desperate. I mean, to some degree, you may feel a little desperate because you want a client so bad.
You want it. Yeah.
But once you get that clientele, you're going to be more careful because you say, I don't have to compromise anymore.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. And, we're there for you, and I know that we've had conversations, you and Sarah have had conversations and others here, before, after meetings, kind of giving you some of this, and we're kind of, we might have saw a flag before you just because.
Yes, because there was something I reached out to Sarah for, and she's awesome, by the way. And she gave me the feedback, and I knew she was right, but I said, yeah, I'm gonna try it anyway. And then when I suffered the consequence, I reached out to her again, and she said, I'm sorry, I don't want to say this, but told you so. And I'm like, oh. I couldn't argue it. ClaimTek trainer have so much insight and so many, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still my decision.
Right.
But I need that insight. And sometimes I reach out to you guys. I know where it's leading, but I just need that clarification. Mm-hmm. I need that second set of eyes, or, that second.
Yeah, it helps to give you confidence, because when and again, when you exude confidence on meetings, conversations that you're having, when you're confident about your abilities, mm-hmm. and you can state them clearly, this is what I will do, this is what I plan to do, this is what I charge to do this,
right,
and accomplish it. You're confident in that. And that confidence, when it's being exuded like that, it mm-hmm. also helps to set a precedent of what type of relationship are we getting into.
Does. It does. Because if you're a compromiser and you're a doormat, that's what you're going to be.
Yeah. But like you said, you go above and beyond, but you won't allow yourself. So there's always a balance.
Right.
You find that balance by implementing and taking action.
That's the point.
Because if you never make a call, if you never have the meeting, you never have a conversation, you wouldn't have experienced it for yourself one time. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't realize, oh, okay, now I get where they were coming from and why they, recommended that. And now I can take that and internalize it and then use it in the future at any time. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's just you growing now, building as an individual, becoming, a better entrepreneur for yourself, for your company. Mm-hmm. And this is all a process, right? Nobody gets to the, top of the mountain in a leap, right? Slow, steady, consistent climb. And now, I can see it when you talk, the confidence that you have, compared to a year ago. Because you've also seen the success.
Right. The learning journey it's an enjoyable, right? You're going to have your ups and downs, but you're going to be building up and progressing.
Right.
This is, I don't have no regrets with this at all. In fact, my husband was skeptical in the beginning, mm-hmm. but now he's like, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Even offered to help because he said, you're getting so many clients, you're going to have to teach me your med office so I can help you.
There you go.
So yeah, he's more supportive now,
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you see it come to fruition, and, again, I have to give credit to you because, we can provide everybody everything that they need, but we can't mm-hmm. do it for you.
Right.
We can lead you to water. We can hand you the straw. I'll hold the straw for you. I just can't drink it. Right. For somebody. And, everybody has ups and downs. We have them in life. We have them in business. We have them in parenting. Everybody has ups and downs. Mm-hmm. It's when you're having downs that you're getting back up.
Right.
Because in doing anything, no matter what it is, mm-hmm. You're going to fail at something. It's the people that have perseverance, that keep getting back up and moving forwards, that are the ones that become the people that everybody else looks up to. And, you're one of those people now that others are looking up to because of, again, your perseverance, the attitude, the mental attitude that you had going in. You said, I'm going to make this work.
Yeah.
Because, I know that I can be successful at something. Right. I just need somebody to help me to do it, provide me the guidance and support. So that way, when I'm unsure, you guys can step in. And, I remember those conversations that we've had. And I'm just so happy that, when you needed something, you asked us for the help so we could help you when the time came, and that you stayed true to the promises you made to yourself when you started this business.
And that's the point. Yeah.
Because that's the biggest thing. I think that, some people fail is it's not because, they couldn't find a client. It's because they didn't try, because they didn't
you already made a decision to fail. When you don't try, you already made a decision to fail. And even if you try and it's not immediately, it doesn't mean you're a failure at all. It just means at that given point, you was not successful at that given point.
Yep.
Knowledge is power too. What I mean by that is all of the resources that you guys provided. I had to look through all what I have here that I'm working with. I had to really look at it. And one thing I will say that I learned that outsourced medical billers are needed.
Yep.
They are needed. I was
100%.
surprised on some of these practitioners I have had a backlog that had to be cleared up.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, no disrespect to them, because I'm sure they're excellent doctors, I'm sure, but it's the convoluted, not organized, and I don't know if this one was paid. Oh, I got to go into the software and find it. It was a lot of things that was not organized.
Right.
That I was help them get it organized. Mm-hmm. Because when things are organized, it flows smoothly.
Right.
Too. I mean, it was just a lot of different problems. So definitely medical billers are needed in this world.
You got that right. I mean, industry statistics say it all. They're projecting that, you know, our industry is going to grow by the medical billing outsourcing market by $1 billion a year, you know, over the next 6 years, because more and more doctors are seeing the need.
Yeah.
You know? And as the rules and regulations, red tape from government insurances and insurance companies, the more of this that keeps on going on, you know, the more help these doctors need to stay organized and to help them become, you know, financially free and successful from the burdens of the insurance companies.
Right.
Right.
So, and that's our focus.
That is our focus.
That's our focus. And that's why we can do, you know, we can do so much for them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, this has been wonderful, Rochelle. I know that everybody watching this has appreciated your candor and feedback, you know, that you've provided. If you could tell anybody, you know, before getting off of here, what would you tell them? What do they need to know about ClaimTek, or, you know?
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my mind, feedback for them.
The first thing that comes to my mind is the support is awesome. When you start something new, you're going to need some help. Yeah, you're not going to have all the answers. The support team is awesome. Yeah. I know that if I run into any type of problem, I know I can send an email and get a response or options on how to resolve it.
Yeah.
So the support is there. And that's the number one thing. Well, it's a lot of things I can say, but the support, the resources, and the ongoing support.
Excellent, because we pride ourselves in that. We're the only company in the industry that provides the type of consultative training and support that we provide. You know, what we've seen from other companies, it's just cookie cutter question and answer, but that doesn't help you when you're dealing with a very specific issue with one particular doctor. They have this issue, but you've never experienced that before with any of your other doctors, but they had this circumstance, right?
Right.
And you can have people that can talk to you about the individuality of a doctor's specific needs. That's when you become more powerful, because you become more confident, because you're able to say, oh, I can do that too. That's
right.
Yeah.
I've never wish I didn't listen to you. I've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
I have been in a situation where I regret not listening to. So
I mean, hey, you live and you learn, you get better and you grow. I am excited to see, you know, retirement's coming up for you, right? Tell the team here just a little bit about
it. Should have been December 2021, but is September 30th, 2022 this year.
And why is that? The Fed pushed it back? Or was that was because you wanted it? You wanted to stay longer.
No. I wanted out. I wanted out. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, but I wanted out. I was ready. Yeah. But you know, the years of service I had was shaved off. I'm not arguing it. I'm just, you know, look, I'm gonna just hang in there until the end.
Hang in there till the end. You know, you know what you have here to fall back on as soon as that's done. I just know that, you know, you were telling me for, you know, a year, you know, I'm retiring at the end of this year, I'm retiring. And then you call me and like, they won't let me retire now. Now I got to stay with it till September. So, but hey, you know, you're on your way.
Around the corner. Yeah,
you're on your way. You're reaching your goals here.
And it has been approved this time. It's for sure approved.
There you go. Excellent.
So,
official. Wonderful. Well, Rochelle, thank you so much for your time today. Your feedback for the team, it's greatly appreciated. And keep up the good work.
I always enjoy talking to you guys. I really do.
Excellent. Well, we love having you, and keep up the good work. We want to see you hit that goal there by September when you retire.
Yes.
So get your husband on some that office so he can help you out.
I can't wait to see how many petitioners I will have back around that time.
There you go.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to hearing the good news.
Thank you.
All right, Rochelle, you take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.